Luigi Mangione has now been charged with murder, and his new attorney expects him to plead not guilty. Alright, here is Luigi's manifesto. To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country to save you a lengthy investigation. I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, and a lot of patience. Is this him basically admitting he did it? That's what it sounds like, right? The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that eliminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. Bro's bragging. What the f? He's like, y'all ain't gonna be getting my computers or laptops or phones. What a cocky little bastard. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. This is an admission, right? How was he gonna plead not guilty, bro? A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly 42 in life expectancy. Dude, I honestly think that's mainly just because of fast food and people not exercising and shit. I mean, what isn't like 40% of people or something obese? 40.3% of adults in US are obese. We gotta cut that in half, brother. United is the largest company in the US by market cap behind Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown. But as our life expectancy, no, the reality is these indecipherable have simply gotten too powerful. Oh, is this handwritten? So some of it's like they can't tell what he wrote. And they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument, but many have eliminated the corruption and greed. This is an author of some kind, and some guy that made a documentary shedding light on the healthcare system, I believe, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I'm the first to face it with such brutal honesty. This is an admission. Is this really his manifesto? I mean, the only logical explanation for this is clearly he's saying fuck the healthcare system and admitting to smoking this guy from behind on the sidewalk in New York City. And this is the first time we really heard him have an outburst and say something out loud. And of course, it's something interesting.
Oh, dude, come on.
As completely out of touch, and as an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
So he said something along the lines of completely unjust and an insult to the intelligence of the American people. Never mind, some people think he said completely out of touch.
Oh my God! As completely out of touch, and as an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Okay, I think he does say out of touch, actually. The ending is a little bizarre. Let him speak. What are they afraid of? That's not really how arresting someone for murder works. No one ever just gets a fucking microphone and a platform to speak. Here's Luigi in the corner of the McDonald's, eating his hash brown in Pennsylvania when he got recognized by a McDonald's employee like this, which is kind of crazy because he's covering those bushy eyebrows, or at least they're hard to see. So it's quite impressive this employee recognized him, and at this point they ask him for his ID and it turns out to be a fake, and he said, "You're right, I shouldn't have given you a fake ID." Defense attorney for Mangione, Thomas Dickey, argued that the state of New York did not provide the defense with the official second-degree murder charges and documents they were given, and now the defense has 14 days to request a writ of habeas corpus for those. District Attorney Alvin Bragg confirmed to CBS News that prosecutors will seek a governor's warrant to secure Mangione's extradition to Manhattan.
First exclusive interview on behalf of the accused is counsel Thomas Dickey, attorney for the 26-year-old man charged in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Counsel, thank you for joining us.
And thank you, Chris.
So your client had an opportunity to say you got the wrong guy, never did. He apologizes in his manifesto for the pain he has caused. He gave voice to his motivation today in front of the cameras, and yet am I correct that you believe you don't think he did it?
Well, Chris, one thing I always liked about watching you is you're a lawyer, okay? So I don't know if you've done much criminal work or not, but my client hasn't faced any actual criminal charges from New York yet. So he hasn't had an opportunity to make any plea.
So this is before he was charged. Clearly, he ended up being charged with murder in New York. Clearly, he's new to the case and doesn't have much, so these interviews might be pointless.
Did you meet with the defendant earlier?
Yes, I did, and I'm pleased with our relationship. I think we've made a strong bond, and I'm looking forward to moving forward, helping him out.
How were you approached?
I really don't want to get into that.
Is he saying he's innocent at this point?
He has indicated pleas of not guilty. The only charges that we've seen thus far have been the ones here in Pennsylvania, and we have pled not guilty to those charges. And
what's his state of mind?
I really can't get in that. That's too speculative. I'm not going to get in. Oh yeah, we pled not guilty at least to the charges in Pennsylvania. Like I said, I'm not aware of any actual charges in New York. If you were in the hearing earlier, there was a proceeding where they introduced some documents, which, as I complained about, didn't have enough information for me. So I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. So that's, like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around.
Well, it's because they don't have discovery yet. The state attorneys are not going to hand this over immediately once they charge him. It's going to take a while. If this goes to trial, it's going to be probably 9 months to a year from now, at least. So apparently Luigi's father inherited a real estate empire from Luigi's grandfather. So these boys got some money. And this is the lawyer they picked. I got to point out tweets like this, bro. Twitter is a cesspool for just dumb tweets for interactions now because you get paid for it on Twitter if you're monetized. They think you are stupid, and it shows a zoomed in shot of his eyebrows, right? There's no eyebrows there, and then all of a sudden he has a little bit of eyebrows, and they measured the gap with a red line. Just stupid fucking tweets like that, bro. If the eyebrows don't fit, you must have quit, head ass. Like, dude, Twitter is just full of fucking morons now, I feel like. Or that guy's just baiting for interactions. There's no way. All right, another classmate coming forward for their time in the spotlight. I wonder do these people get paid for these interviews? Or do they reach out and say, hey, I'm a classmate? Like, how does this work?
So I knew him. I came into the school in 8th grade. I knew him 8th grade throughout high school. But I obviously knew him. We were a small class, small school, only about 400 kids in the high school. I would say I spoke to him pretty frequently. He was like a leader in our class, so I'm not quite sure the exact clubs because it's a while back, but he was like a leader of clubs. He was in many clubs.
Apparently there's also rumors that he's been distant from his family.
Soccer player as well. He played baseball, I believe, in middle school, but I think he stopped after that. But everyone just knew him as like a quiet, reserved, nice kid, and he was obviously really intelligent, and everybody can tell that by his resume, of course. Yeah.
So he's a valedictorian, and then had a speech at your...
Yeah, so he spoke at our graduation. Every year they have like somebody who's, exceeds academically and in and out of the classroom, and they have them speak in front of our high school. It's weird saying it, but yeah, he was that person that we chose to speak, so... When I saw the photo, I thought it was like a 35-year-old guy. It was like he's a good-looking dude, like sharp jawline kind of thing. But I had no hindrance that it was him. I mean, in the back of my mind, I was like, I feel like that face is familiar, but it was like subconsciously, not really like on the forefront. So when I found out, I had like 25, 30 text messages from all different people from I'm from Baltimore, obviously, where we went to school together.
This is crazy. I'm from Southern Maryland, and guess what, boys? I know a few people that knew him. Isn't that just fucking weird, right? Don't like that at all.
Everybody that I know from Baltimore is reaching out to me like, did you know this guy? Did you go to school with him? He graduated in the same class as you. And
yeah, he graduated the same class as me. I knew him, boys. Breaking news. CUFBOYS knew the bushy eyebrow bandit as well. I did.
I hadn't spoke to him in maybe like 4 years prior to this, though.
Entry requirements to that high school: GPA plus a nice jawline. I don't know, boys. That's really his manifesto. That's not a good look. It looks like an admission of guilt to me. He doesn't say I killed him in writing or anything, but he hints at it. Hit subscribe. I love you guys. Thanks for support. Peace out.